It is our Friday chat with Father Pat this morning. Father Pat, thanks for being here as usual on this Friday morning. And we are involved, as you well know, in the 8-week course about faith and poverty at St. Simon and Jude. And you know, it was discussed early on by the creators of this course that these sessions would involve not only the study of material poverty, but also of spiritual poverty. But a lot of the times, the only thing we think about is because we don't have what we want and all the material items that we want, or we can't make our bills. That's the only kind of poverty that there is, when in fact there is a spiritual poverty that we never really even think of, that's called that or thought of as when we have a dry spell. It's actually poverty.
Yeah, especially now, right? Coming out of the pandemic, so many of us suffered some spiritual poverty, some desolation during that, and we just don't stop to think about poverty in terms of our spiritual poverty, and really needing to address that with ourselves, with each other, with people that we reach out to. That's really what the story about Lazarus and the rich man is all about. Clearly Lazarus suffered from material poverty, but the rich man suffered from spiritual poverty, which is even more dangerous and dangerous to our eternal life. And so we need to at times just stop and reflect on where we are, both in terms of our material poverty, but more especially in terms of our spiritual poverty, and what we're doing with ourselves, with our family, within our community to reach out to help others in both areas. I know one of the instruments that talked about here in the Faith and Poverty series is this money autobiography. And I've been reviewing that, doing some reflecting on it on my own, and it really kind of points out to where the balance has been in our life between this material poverty and this spiritual poverty. How much emphasis we have had growing up and in our adult life and all, how much emphasis we've placed on money and material possessions, and the whole idea of getting ahead through material possessions, through money, and maybe neglecting the spiritual life, which I think the old adage, right? Money can't buy happiness, and there really is something to that, right? We do really recognize that, and we need to all just kind of stop and think, especially now with all the turmoil going on in the world, and coming out of this pandemic, where we are in that spiritual poverty. Just pause and look more on the spiritual side, and seeing where and how material things have in some ways become our God, and where we need to kind of rebalance, where we need to relook at where we're going. So we'll have a link here to this money autobiography. I encourage people to take a look at some of the questions that are there, and just start reflecting on where money and material possessions are in your life, and how that has structured your value system. Recognizing that at the end of the day, everything is a gift from God, and we have got to begin and end with that. Recognizing that each day to just wake up with that gratitude for all that God has given us, and for everything we have. That's really where we start to change, and just surrendering ourselves to God, and allowing Him to really be truly the ruler of our life. We need that discipline. That is how we become disciples.
As with many focuses that make you look inward, the money autobiography will reveal probably a lot about yourself that maybe you haven't thought about. before your earliest memory of money, your happiest memory of money, your unhappiest memory of money. It's designed to be spread out over a series of weeks, but it's something that people sit down who participate in, sit down and just journal about your experiences with money in your life. So as you said, we have the link to it. It's a product of the United Methodist Church's discipleship conference, but the link is here in the paragraph below the video. And again, the Faith and Poverty continues. We have about 3 weeks left. Then we're going to take a month break and then come back toward the end of September and offer the poverty and solidarity response, which is just what we can do in our community to help alleviate situations of poverty. So that'll be, we'll be having sign up sheets for that the further we go into August. And while we're here, Father, the national conversation again is focusing on COVID. And could you give us a little update about SSJ and the church and what we're doing, if anything?
Yeah, so we haven't gotten any new instructions from the Archdiocese regarding any of the masks or not wearing masks or anything. So officially, none of the policies that we have here at the Archdiocese are changing at this time. Of course, that could change today. That could change, at any time. But again, it all boils down to us all making prudent decisions about our own risk, right? We make prudent decisions about whether to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. We need to make prudent decisions about then if we are vaccinated or if we're not vaccinated, whether we mask or we don't mask. And I encourage everybody to make those prudent decisions, and for all of us to respect each other's prudent decisions and to continue to be mindful of that and respectful of each other's positions. Again, I know there are some who have, for one reason or another, are a little more concerned about coming to Sunday Mass with the crowds and with the people not wearing masks. I do encourage our weekday Mass attendance is still low. You can still come and sit in a remote area, masked up if you've got some concerns there. And that's where we need to continue to just be respectful of each other's decisions and where we are. As we get more information from the diocese about policies and guidelines, we'll certainly communicate those. But right now, there's no change to our policy and guidelines. We just continue to encourage everybody to make prudent decisions about their health and what's best for them and their family.
Should there be any decisions handed down by the Archdiocese, we'll of course pass them along to you in flock notes, Facebook, and in our bulletin when we have them. Father, thanks for your time this morning. We'll see you this weekend and talk to you on Monday.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.